Lure, Patio Prado. I mean, he's taken on some very good company, and he's been successful. The last time he got to race here at Turfway Park was when he beat Dean's Kitten and Mint Chip in the Tejano Run. So pretty good company he kept that day, and he kept them in his rearview mirror.
He kept them in his rearview mirror, and like a lot of Mike Maker horses, he loves Turfway.
And Mike Maker has just put on a show of dominance today, the likes of which reminiscent from the man he learned from, D. Wayne Lukas, who is one of the most dominant trainers in the history of the Kentucky Cup. And Mike Maker has been doing it Lukas style all day.
He has indeed. I mean, he's one of many Lukas disciples that have gone on to do very, very well. Mike, probably one of the last ones to leave Lukas's barn that went out on his own and do quite as well as he's done.
You can see they're approaching the starting gate right now. They are giving it a circle, so you can get your bets down at tvg.com. But the favoritism is going to vie back and forth between Baryshnikov and Working for Hops. Those two runners have been catching the eye of the wagerers out there.
I am really surprised in a race of this caliber how quickly the odds have changed between one favorite and another and then gone back again. Usually it takes a great deal of money to move the odds this much in a big race like this, and we're seeing a lot of shift in the odds, a lot of changes.
Especially at this point in the wagering. There are 0 minutes to post, so those pools are quite large as they stand right now. We haven't said much about Demarcation. He was in against Strike Impact a couple races back at Churchill on the turf. He faced the likes of First Dude and Mission Impossible 3 and 4 starts back, although he never really got close to those.
Well, they keep him lightly raced. They do that for a reason. He doesn't have a lot of constitution to his body. He's coming off a race since August the 6th, and before that May the 30th. But that's the way Demarcation does it, and he keeps good form by doing it that way.
There's a look at General Quarters. I mean, he is a feel-good story. Now, Tom McCarthy, his owner and trainer, I mean, this horse has done so much for him, as he's a 77-year-old retired school principal. But he had been quoted earlier in the week talking about General Quarters' last 2 efforts. He said it was something as simple and stupid. His words, it was simple and stupid as a tongue tie. So the tongue tie had gotten in on the horse, it caused him to bleed in his mouth and interfered with his bleeding. And he hadn't worked the horse in the tongue tie, so he never noticed it in the morning.
Yeah, I can understand why he might come to that conclusion. When a horse gets a lacerated tongue, the only way you're really going to find that is if you take the tongue and pull it out and look at it. And the only time you're going to be doing that, pulling the tongue out and looking at it, is when you put a tongue tie on the horse. So unless he was showing signs of not eating well or something like that, there really wouldn't be any reason to think that that was the culprit to making him run bad races. Now look, we're going to find out today if that indeed is the reason. If Tom McCarthy's right, you're going to get good odds at 9-1 on General Quarters. But General Quarters is a year older. He runs against some of the best year in and year out. And I got to believe that really maybe he's starting to tail off a little bit.
As they make their way to the gate, let's check in once again with Donna.
Hey guys, you were talking about General Quarters in here, and you know, not only you talked about him biting his tongue in that last race, and I guess he bled pretty badly when he did that. But Tom McCarthy also said that he just is throwing out those races on the firm turf course. Those were at Churchill Downs and Arlington Park. You know, you've got to draw a line through a few of his races to like him in here, but I can easily draw a line through some of those races, and right now you can get 9-1 on General Quarters, and I thought he looks good in the paddock. The speed's got to set up for him in here, and it looks like it's going to, so I'd look for him to come running late, guys.
Well, Tom, in 1994, when Tabasco Cat crossed the wire under Pat Day for Wayne Lukas, racing fans everywhere knew that they had seen the birth of a classic event, and today, thanks to WinStar Farm, we get to witness its rebirth. Back at the place it all began in 1994, back at the place where it belongs, its home here at Turfway Park, as they are at the post and in the gate for the Grade 2 WinStar Kentucky Cup, $200,000 on the line, but a whole lot more on the line for this great day as it returns in 2011. Mike Battaglia has the call.
And they're off. Future Prospect broke well, so did Working for Hops. And on the inside, Strike Impact. Moving up from the outside, Have a Lock. Then on the outside, that's General Quarters. Followed on the inside by Demarcation, Baryshnikov, and the early trailer, Shediak, midway through the first turn. Strike Impact gets the lead, has it a half length over Future Prospect, second by 2.5. Have a Lock on the outside, runs third. General Quarters is fourth. Working for Hops now runs fifth. 2 back to Demarcation. Baryshnikov on the outside, and Shediak is the trailer. 24-2 for the quarter. Future Prospect ahead in front of Strike Impact. Gap of 2 lengths. Then it's Havelock third ahead. General Quarters gains from fourth. Working for Hops is right there in fifth. Shediak is sixth. Barishnikov on the outside seventh. Demarcation trails as they move into the turn. Future Prospect leads at a length. General Quarters up on the outside gains and takes second. Then it's Havelock in third. Working for Hops takes fourth. Moving through from the inside, that's Shediak in fifth. Barishnikov is on the extreme outside, but into the stretch, it's General Quarters and Future Prospect. Future Prospect has the lead over General Quarters. On the outside, Barishnikov. It's Future Prospect in front of General Quarters. Late run from Demarcation. Future Prospect and Edgar Prado spring the upset. General Quarters second, Photo for third, Demarcation and Working for Hops.
6-8-4-1, Future Prospect and Edgar Prado win the WinStar Kentucky Cup, holding off a very game and determined General Quarters.
Heads up ride by Edgar Prado and Future Prospect. That pace was very, very controlled. Edgar sniffed it out, went on to challenge, strike impact early on in the race, take over the lead, was able to hold off a hard closing General Quarters. It's nice to see that old guy's back.
Well, Future Prospect, no spring chicken himself, at 7 years old, he's rattled off 4 consecutive wins now. A run that started on the dirt at Churchill Downs at 6.5 furlongs and has taken him all the way through the WinStar Kentucky Cup. And what a powerful finish here from both of the top 2 finishers.
Absolutely.
And let's take a look. Here they are on the backstretch. And at this point in the race, I mean, Future Prospect, he was doing the work early.
Well, this is where Prado wins the race. Actually, a little bit before this, when he decides to challenge Strike Impact for the lead about midway down the backstretch, he sniffs out what he considers to be a slow pace. He takes over control of the race here. Obviously, Jamie Theriault and General Quarters knows it's not that quick either, and they're starting to press the issue together right here. But because Future Prospect had that advantage early, was able to save a little horse for the end, he's going to be able to hold off General Quarters. Great ride by Prado here.
Great ride, and the crowd got pretty loud here. General Quarters there, obviously a sentimental favorite for racing fans everywhere. Just his story ever since we got to know him as a 3-year-old, and of course for owner-trainer Tom McCarthy. But today, it was Future Prospects Day, and right now we're going to go down to Donna Barton Brothers. Donna?